There are three basic elements in Grand Archive. These elements dictate which cards you're allowed to play. Today we're looking at the least expensive basic element, Wind. I want to note I'm only bringing up the common cards that people play in the engine. You won't see champion or class specific cards in this video. Wind's strategy is teamwork. It gains card advantage with cards like Windmill Engineer and Fairy Whispers. It has great temporary removal with suppress effects like Zephyr. Its disadvantages are it doesn't have good permanent removal effects. You could use norm element cards to get around this. Be careful though, of all the elements, Wind really likes to have its own element in the deck. Fairy Whispers is just a worse idle thoughts if it doesn't draw a Wind card. Windmill Engineer gives you a 1/1 ally and draws a card to memory. If you're playing an Assassin champion, there's also a chance Stifling Trap is the card placed. If it is, you can activate it from your memory. How cool is that? Stifling Trap is so good that it's played in more than just Assassin decks. It can stop on-ender effects like Dungeon Guide, but it's also a skill, not a spell. That means if you need a little extra damage to finish something off, Spell Shroud won't protect an ally from this effect. Reclaim can be used both defensively and offensively. When your opponent attacks or uses an effect to destroy an ally, you can save it by responding with this card. Another defensive way to use this card is in response to Stifling Trap. Let's say you play Dungeon Guide and opponent attempts to counter with Stifling Trap. If you respond with Reclaim, the Stifling Trap loses its target and Dungeon Guide gets to use her effect. Sometimes you need a little extra damage but have no allies in hand for the final strike. Just attack with an ally and reclaim it. Recast the ally and boom. If you do this, it'll probably be done with Ace and Protector. The drawback to this massive 3/4 interceptor of returning an ally to hand might seem situational, but Wind has such good card advantage that it's often not a problem. It can also combo like Reclaim. Just attack with an ally and recall it with Ace and Protector's effect. How could we make a video about Wind without bringing up Dream Fairy? She can get rid of problem allies, or use Wind's natural reclaim abilities to clear the board. Her stats are small, but she makes up for it by having stealth. She can really punish decks that don't prepare for her. Unfortunately, she's probably the most expensive purchase you'll be picking up in the Wind engine. Veiling Breeze was such a problem card, the Aproxia's Vaulted Nullify Mirror just to keep it in check. Just use its effect to reveal Wind cards from memory to stop both combat and effect damage. You can use this on your own turn if you want to play Hurricane Sweep and avoid getting counterattacked. Baby Green Slime can suppress material deck cards that have on-enter draw effects. That way you have a fairly consistent draw engine. Yes, there's effects other than drawing you can do too. Of course, you can always suppress non-regalia cards too. You can force opponents to use cards early and maybe even bluff. Even if you aren't a tamer, you'll find him a good, flexible ally. Beseech the Winds isn't always used, but you'll see it splash in decks that want material deck setups. Unlike Dungeon Guide, this card actually materializes a card from the material deck. That means an opponent can't get Heavenly Guide's effect from a level by this card. You don't have to use this just to level a champion up. Tristan and Xander love getting Windwalker boots out a turn early. Innervate Agility is an amazing card. First off, de-leveling and recovering 5 is a cost, so even if the card gets negated, you at least get a little healing. Second off, Stealth or Spell Shroud applies to all your units, not just your champion. Before getting into honorable mentions, let's talk about the flavor of the month. Scatter Essence destroys the Fantasia and gives you a floating memory. Mostly effective in decks at level so they could take advantage of the floating memory. Hits Dow Chan's Fractals or Tristan's Ominous Shadow tokens. I'll slide some honorable mentions as I ask the question. If you're a veteran player and had to start all over again, would you start with a Wind Element deck? If you're looking to get into the game, did I sell you on playing a Wind Element deck? As usual, let me know in the comments and have a great day.